One thing that I know that you've been involved with in the last few weeks, and that is the signing of this petition to Senator Kerry or Secretary Kerry to stop the silence about the genocide, as the petition calls it, of Christians in the Middle East. You've signed this. Archbishop Kurtz has signed this. Bishop Cantu has signed this, and others, saying that there's a silence right now about our Christian brothers and sisters in the Middle East, from the very heights of our government and other governments internationally. Why was it so important to you to sign this? This is sponsored by the Knights of Columbus.
Thank God.
By the way.
Our Knights of Columbus sponsor a lot of good things. This program, one of them, but this one was particularly good. Why? And by the way, there's a broad array of ecumenical and interreligious leaders. There's Jewish leaders, there's Islamic leaders, there's non-Catholic Christian leaders, and thank you for noticing that a number of us Catholic leaders have signed us as well. We feel very strongly about this. Why? Genocide is a very poignant word today, right? It's a particularly electrifying word that you only want to use in a precise way. And we think that the definition of genocide, if you understand it properly, what's going on against Christians throughout the world merits the use of the word genocide, which is the kind of word that can serve as an international alarm clock. See? What does genocide mean? That there would be an intentional identification of a particular group of people and an attempt to harass and exterminate them simply based on their faith. So, of course, the most nauseating, horrific example of it would be the Nazi genocide of Jewish people. It can sometimes be a controversial word because it's intentional and it's systematic. It's not just sporadic or ad hoc. We think for sure what's going on now against Christians throughout the world is intentional. It's orchestrated. It's well-oiled. It's a synchronized movement, and it's an intentional harassment and a desire to exterminate men and women simply based on their faith. We just the other day, in fact, I recalled at Sunday Mass at St. Patrick's, remember last year the Coptic Christians from Egypt, 21 of them who were beheaded on the shores in Libya there, and the ghastly filming of it, and those who did this simply said to each of them, "Renounce your faith in Jesus Christ, and you can live." None of them did, so they were beheaded. Now that's an intentional murder of those people simply because of hatred for their faith. Multiply that by thousands, and that's what's going on throughout the world today. So it's a sincere attempt on a number of religious leaders, I'm honored to be one of them, to elevate the conversation here and really, just set off an international alarm clock to say, folks, we gotta stand up and realize what's going on. We've talked a lot about that on the show. I've had Jewish leaders, I've had Christian leaders, I've had some of my brother bishops from parts of the world where these atrocities are occurring to speak about this. But I think what we're saying, we're getting a little desperate in that this doesn't seem to be grabbing the attention of the world, this genocide against Christians. This is a way to do it. Now, even though we applauded some of the initiatives of the Obama administration in drawing attention to this, and he has done some decent things, we worried that there was a purposeful avoiding of this word, particularly in some documents that are now being prepared. And so we're simply urging Secretary of State John Kerry, don't shy away from that word. It's a legitimate use of the word. Look it up in the dictionary. It'll apply, and use it. Because anything to give more punch to documents that can be too cerebral and easily discarded, anything that can give a little bit more pizzazz to that and get people's attention, we want to do it.
For those who would like to support this petition, you can go to stopthechristiangenocide.org. Stopthechristiangenocide.org.